Hi Cancer, this is your February 2019 reading. We have a beautiful and fruitful month ahead of ourselves. It is a month, I'm calling it harvest month for you, because all the outer planet synods that I spoke about in the last month's video, all of the outer planets, they start giving results one by one during the course of February, giving you the first fruits of their positivity, first fruits of labor. The first fruit of labor that comes through is with the new moon that is happening on 4th of February, which will have an impact on you in the first 2 weeks of the month, which is coming through with a breakthrough in your partnerships. It could be in form of finances if you are in a business partnership. It could be in form of deeper intimacy if you are in a committed relationship, and that leads you to the next stage. It gives you the impetus to move forward with power, with confidence into the next chapter in your life. And you're looking at Mars and Uranus coming together in the middle of the month around 13th of February, giving you an impetus to get out of a career situation if it does not serve you well. It is asking you to be authentic to yourself. It has an urgency to it to sort of get there, to get where you truly want to get in your career. It wants you to be propelled forward in a way where you are being true to yourself, because you have Aries in your house of career, and Aries does not like anything fake. So if there's anything in your career that is not serving you well, which is not authentic to you, that is not putting your interest first, these two planets want to come together and eliminate that from your life. They want you to have the courage to break out of a situation that is not serving you well and move to the next phase in your life. And that follows the stable phase of the month, which comes after 14th of February, right after Valentine's Day. And that is the part of the month that will jive better for you, because it's more social in nature. It has more water energy in it. So the second half of the month is a little bit easier. It's about maintaining what has been set and going deeper into your partnership. And as part of going deeper into your partnership, something in your committed relationship comes to a beautiful conclusion around 22nd or 23rd of February, when Venus and Pluto are meeting together in a conjunction. That is the day, 22nd or 23rd of February, to tie the knot, to get deeper, to sort of get committed to a partnership either ways. And then at the end of the month, we have a beautiful full moon. Both the full moon and the new moon this month do not have any challenges. This is the most smooth sailing month that we have had in a long time, because we do not have challenges to new starts this month. We do not have challenges in completing things this month. All the planets are visible, all the planets are moving direct right now. So there is a speed of things with which there's a speed of this month with which things are moving this month forward, which is helping us, which is moving us to the next level. And that brings me to the full moon at the end of the month, which is happening in your house of courage, in your house of communication, in your house of being able to convey your point of view across to a large set of people, to bring a commercial destiny through. You're sort of bringing a point across and bringing something to conclusion which is commercial in nature in the second half of the month, starting from 19th of February. And Uranus and Mars are giving you impetus to get it done, to get it over the line. Pluto is giving you the power in your partnership to get it through, and that is a very, very powerful end of the month. This is a short month, but it packs a punch. So let's dig into the details of things. As usual, I leave the timestamps in the comments for you to access specific parts of the reading. Good luck, and I'll see you in March. Thank you. As we start the month, we are still under the influence of Saturn and Neptune coming together that I spoke about in the last video. Saturn wants you to give a structure to your adventure. It wants your adventures to come true. It is making an aspect to your house of adventure, your house of education, your house of making tools that help you progress in your career. It wants to make sure that you are able to access those. So it is giving you the discipline to go after those things, to go after new education, to go after new courses, to create new mentors who will support you, to go after the interaction with people which is enhancing and adding to your knowledge. You're looking for things that expand your mind, that expand your knowledge. And Neptune has been there for some time, and it has been bringing your boundaries down to open your mind to new ideas. But it did not have the discipline to stick to certain courses, to stick to certain specialization, to stick to certain subjects that will be of use for you to move to the next level, because Saturn is only focusing on things that move you and progress you further in your career. So it is sort of narrowing down the things you should learn, narrowing down the things that you should focus on, narrowing down the kind of influences you should go after with support and help you to move forward and progress upwards. So looking at these tools and putting yourself in situation where you're exposed to learning new things would be a good idea during the course of February 2019. And Neptune is bringing your boundaries down with other people. It is sort of asking you to interact with people who are different from you. It is lowering the boundaries that we have with other people, so we can mingle with them, so we can interact with them. And at the same time, it is lowering the boundaries to intimacy in your committed relationships as well, because it wants you to create the highest ideal, the highest aspiration that you have for a partnership, and it wants that to be created in your life. Saturn, Pluto have been asking you to restructure and work very, very hard in your committed partnerships, in any one-on-one close relationship that matters to you. It could be your husband, it could be your wife, it could be your marriage partner, it could be a person who matters to you, who stays with you, who's with you, and you have a one-on-one relationship. It could even be a roommate, it could even be your mother, it could be somebody who's dear to you, who matters to you, who you live with, and who you interact with on a one-on-one basis. It is changing the way we relate to our close one-on-one partners, and as a part of that, it might have restricted, added boundaries to it. Neptune is softening those boundaries and making those relationships easier right now. That Neptune is trying to create depth in those relationships, more intimacy in those relationships, more softness in your one-on-one partnership. And in the process of doing that, it's adding a lot of charm, it's adding a lot of positivity, it is adding a lot of glow and ease to you, which is attracting new people, attracting new partners, attracting new people who can work with you, who can help you and support you. And these two planets continue to work with each other throughout the course of February. But the great thing is that both Venus and Mercury join the party. Venus moves into your committed partnership sector on 3rd of February, and it will continue to be there throughout the course of February, which eases your partnership. It adds further charm to you. It adds further love in our life, love for both ourselves as well as for the people we are relating to, and that helps in our partnership. That attracts support to us, that attracts abundance in our partnership. If you're in a business partnership, it attracts abundance in those partnership. And Mercury will be joining the party after 10th of February, when it will enter Pisces, and then you start looking at new ideas of how to learn further. How can I go for a certain course? How can I travel more? How can I reach out to that person who can give me more information? And that will be the theme for 9 whole weeks starting from 10th of February. It's a long trend. You'll be focusing on your education, on enhancing your skills for 9 weeks starting from 10th of February, and that is a very critical part of March. But before we get there, Mars and Pluto, that is the other combination which is also meeting each other. This is very, very powerful. Right off the bat, at the start of the month itself, you're feeling very ambitious. You want to go after your dreams. There's an urgency to this month to make things happen in your career. There's an urgency to learn a lot, interact with a lot of people, go deeper in your partnerships, figure out what you want, and then go and get the tools required to get to the next stage in your career. But Pluto wants you to do the deep work. It wants you to feel powerful within yourself before you can feel powerful with others. It wants you to do the internal work, which is essentially bringing your self-concept to a very strong position, because before you can mingle with somebody else at a deeper level, we need to be strong in our own core. So you would have been feeling that for a long time, because Pluto has been at it for some time now, and Pluto will continue to act on specific degrees for the next couple of years. But right now, Pluto is specifically restructuring partnerships for people who have any degrees, any planets, whether it is Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, between 20 to 22 degree. So around 11th to 13th or 14th July born Cancer Sun would be feeling Pluto very, very strongly this month, and it's about restructuring your partnership and the way you relate to other people. And in the process, are we retaining our self-interest? Are we retaining our sense of self? Are we retaining our sense of taking care of our own self when we are going and taking care of our partnerships? Because Cancer, as a rule, your sign has a tendency to lose themselves, to sort of do too much, to give in too much in partnerships, to do it all. It sort of is like it's difficult for you to delegate in partnerships. That is the reality of things. And because of that, your interest is sometimes compromised. But Pluto does not want you to compromise on your ambition. It does not want you to be compromising on your own self-image, on your own way of taking care of yourself. It wants you to bring more control on your own life. It wants you to become sort of the owner of your own. It's like becoming a parent of your own self at this point in time, and taking care of your own destiny. And in that, if you're giving in too much into partnership, that will come into view, that will come into light, that will come into your, it will feel more it will feel more jarring at this point in time if you're compromising your interests, and there will be some amount of resentment that has been stored up, maybe stored up emotions, which will show up physically. You'll feel it physically in your body. Your solar plexus feel it physically when you have pent up resentment in relationship, or stored up emotions in your body, which has been building up for some time because of you not being taken care of in a partnership. And that has got to go, because the diseases of our thought process, of our emotions, become the diseases of the body. And Pluto and Saturn together in your opposite sign, you have to take care of your health right now. And in order to take care of your health, this emotional release, this unplugging of you, compromising your interest to take care of your partners, to take care of others, versus taking care of your own career, your own interests, your own progress, your own goals, that unplug has to happen. We cannot help somebody else. We cannot be a support system for somebody else unless we are taken care of. So this aspect at the start of the month, and this is sort of a theme, overarching theme of the whole month of February as well as of 2019, where your sense of relating to others has got to change, has got to modify, where your interest is also taken care of. So you stand up for your own self, you sort of stand up in your own power, and then relate to somebody else. When we feel whole within ourselves, when our self concept is taken care of and we feel powerful within ourselves, we can relate to others in a more healthy way. And I'm not saying that your existing relationships are unhealthy. That is not the point of Pluto. The point is to go deeper with people, to go deeper in intimacy, to go deeper in those partnerships, but while doing that, not lose yourself, not lose your sense of identity, not lose the eye on your future. Saturn is specifically acting around 14 to 17 degrees, so 5th to 6th of July or 5th to 8th of July born Cancers would be feeling Saturn very strongly. I will request you to be very, very careful of your health when that happens. When Saturn opposes us, it tests our strength, our physical and emotional strength. So especially if you're born between 5th to 8th of July, taking care of your health is very, very important right now. It is also a time when sort of our emotional endurance is tested, because wants us to go deeper in terms of us taking care of ourselves. Us taking care of ourselves while we relate to others is the overarching theme. And Neptune is softening it, Neptune is making it easier. It is also making it easier for you to leave some old parts of being in a relationship, to make it easier for you to go through a transformation into a different way of being. And you can see that at a global basis as well, because we have Cancer Sun in form of United States of America, and the way the partnership of that country are evolving is one of the examples. We are getting more real, we're getting more authentic in the way we relate to our partners while taking care of our own interests. I'm not an American, so I'm not publicizing any specific leader or anything, but the way the end result of what's happening is similar, and you can apply that to your personal life. I'm sorry I took too long to talk about it, but it's an important topic to cover because it colors your whole 2019. Now let's get to the beautiful new moon that is happening on 4th of February that will have an impact on you for the next 2 weeks, starting from 4th of February, and that is happening in your house of proceeds of partnership. We're taking care of our proceeds of partnership. If there was a new partnership that started with the eclipse that happened on 5th or 6th of January, you might see now the work on the proceeds of those partnership. Now this could be in form of finances of a joint partnership, a business partnership, or it could be in form of intimacy, getting more deep with that partner. And this is a new phase, a beautiful, expansive, positive, optimistic phase starting in your partnership, where we are looking at transforming with our partners, where we are looking to transform in the way we deal with partnership. And here something financial might turn out for you. It could be in form of a loan getting over, it could be in form of a debt getting over, it could be in form of a karmic debt getting over, or a karmic relationship, a phase of karmic relationships getting over, and us getting to the brighter side of things. This is about getting to the brighter side of things. This is about easing our transformation. This is about empowering us, which is giving you deep motivation, deep insight into yourself, and motivation to transform. This is happening in house of transformation. You've worked this out for the last 1.5 years. We have had eclipses for the last 1.5 years in this area. Mars was here for 6 months. So there's something that you've cut out of your life. It could be some addictive partnership, it could be an addictive financial situation, it could be something that was holding you back, and you've transformed yourself out of a dark situation, and now you see the light, you see the other side of it, you see the bright side of it, you see the enlightenment that shows you the purpose of it all, that shows you the purpose of why did we go through what we went through for the last 1.5 years. And this is coming with a positive aspect of Jupiter, which is sitting in your house of work and health. So you're benefited in two ways. You're benefited in your health by getting rid of something that is not serving you well, that is sort of pulling you down. It could be a food addiction, it could be a personal addiction, it could be a person who was holding you back, and you're detoxing that person out of your life, and that opens the doors to further expansion in your health, further positivity in your health, and to some extent progress in your career, progress in what you want to do in the world, because it opens the door to optimism. It opens the door to further opportunities. It opens the door to happiness. This is a very happy, lucky, fortunate aspect to happen as a part of a new moon. We've not had a new moon this positive for a very, very long time, and you can get favors from your co-workers here. You can get favors from your team, and you should avail of favors in the first 10 days of the month. Take the favors from your co-workers to help you in the process. If there's something that you're not able to get rid of, take favors from your mentors. You will get support at this time, because this is a new moon where group work is encouraged. Broad-mindedness, innovative thinking, people working together and coming up with an innovative solution is the theme of new moon in Aquarius. This is about fast thinking, coming up with innovative solutions and implementing them. And this is especially true for you in terms of your work, because Mars in your work sector, which is continuing to give you the courage, continuing to give you the impetus to create the career that you want to create and get through with the difficult projects at work, that is meeting this brilliant new moon's Mercury, and it is combining together with Mercury and acting on these brilliant ideas. So if there's something new you want to do, which is financial in nature, this is not about income, this is not day-to-day income, this is the cherry on the top. So this is something extra to generate an extra value. It could be through loans, it could be through sponsorship, it could be through commissions, it could be through a business that you've set up with somebody and you're getting a commission of that. You want to enhance that and grow that. Jupiter is going to help you grow that, but to get new ideas in that, Mercury will support you for the first 10 days of the month, and Mars gives you the courage and the impetus to implement it. Getting something new off the ground must be done before 14th of February, because that's when the cardinal energy is sharp and you'll be able to get new things started, especially especially till 10th of February. You'll feel that brilliant ideas, new innovative ideas are coming and you can just implement them right away. This is especially true if you have planets around 25 degree of Cancer, which means if you're born around 17th of July, this is an impetus which is like pushing you to innovate, pushing you to do something new. It wants you to think fast, implement, think fast, implement. It is waking you up mentally and physically to get something off the ground. It is sort of challenging you, but at the same time, it is giving you the power, it is giving you the courage, it is giving you the intellectual ideas, new ideas that you can implement right away, which enhance your value, that enhances your position in your career. It's a good idea as a part of the new moon of Aquarius for the next 2 weeks to learn something new, acquire a new knowledge which will help you, or get in depth into some work. So there might be a topic that requires you to do research, it requires you to go deeper. It could be an occult topic as well, something that requires you to go deeper, whether it is in learning something or learning about somebody. Maybe it's your partner who you're learning more about and you're going deeper into figuring out who this person is and what ticks and what sort of makes them happy, because this is about happiness. This is a new moon about happiness. It's happening at a very happy degree. It's happening at 15 degree Aquarius. In symbolic astrology, that is shown as two lovebirds sitting on a fence singing happily. They're sitting on the fence, so there are two sides, there are two borders, but they're sitting in between. They're coming at a middle path. They're meeting each other halfway and combining their perspectives, creating something beautiful. It's a union of perspectives. It is happiness coming out of working together collectively with others. It's an ideal of harmony. It is conquered in partnerships, and hopefully we'll see that work out in the partnerships that we see at a global basis as well, and through the countries coming together and creating these innovative solutions which benefit the collective, because Aquarius is about benefiting the collective. You're looking to benefit more than you when in terms of what you're starting right now. It is not about compromising your way, because Aquarius is very rebellious. It's a very rebellious energy. It's about setting free from existing pattern, innovating your way out of your current situation. But it is about taking care of others. It is not about shining alone. It is about shining in a group. It's about having a vision which is beyond your individual goal, which is beyond taking care of yourself. It is benefiting the group that you're part of. It is benefiting both the partners. It is shifting the paradigm, because it's a very out of the box solution that works for both the parties. On a mundane level, as I mentioned, you'll see that play out in the countries and the dynamics between the countries. Hopefully we see that in terms of new reforms come through, in form of empowerment of oppressed classes coming through, philanthropy happening. In terms of your health, you need to be careful during the new moon and a few days after the new moon in terms of any issues you might have of your nervous system, because when Aquarius moon happens, which will happen a few days later till 4th of February, 5th, 6th, 7th, you'll feel the energy being very nervy, very over the top, very much like it nerves us up. So being a little bit careful if you have any issue related to your nervous system. But that brings me to beautiful outcome of this new moon, which happens around 9th of February, which is Mercury and Uranus coming together. So some stimulating news, some new idea comes out of this exercise, this whole exercise, which is supportive of your career, which is supportive of you moving to the next level in your career. There's an urgency to generate ideas right now. There is an urgency to do well and to move to the next level. And you feel that right now. And so something quickly comes together around 9th, 10th of February. 9th, 10th of February is also when Aries moon will be there. So you will feel very, very charged up. You'll be feeling very much ready to go. And that brings me to the most potent aspect of this month, which is happening on 13th of February in your fellow cardinal sign of Aries, which is Uranus and Mars are meeting together in your career house for the last time in our lifetime. They're never going to be together in any of our lifetimes, because the next time they'll come together in Aries will be 84 years later. So we are looking at a very rare aspect happening at a critical degree. 29 degree of Aries is all about getting things done. It's about moving very quickly. It's a very impulsive, very much let's go for it kind of an energy. So you are losing some amount of fear. You're losing the inhibition that you have. You're losing anything that was holding you back to get your freedom in your career. This is a aspect which is asking you, urging you to set free from any limitations that are holding your voice and your success back. It wants you to take care of you. It wants your self-expression to be free. It wants you to end a cycle of compromise in you versus others. That is the overarching theme. That are you taking care of your dreams when it comes to your partnership? It wants to have a dramatic shift in your ambition. It wants you to have a sense of self which matches your inside, the feeling that you have inside, that I need this in my career. I need to be there in my ambition. This is where I want to be in terms of my aspiration. It wants your external reality in terms of how you are in your partnerships, how you present yourself at work, how you present yourself as a leader. It wants that to be snapped into a different format. If it's not there, if your external reality doesn't relate to how you feel inside, because of Uranus working on you for the last 7 years, setting your old notions free about what kind of leader you want to be, what kind of job you want to be, what kind of limitations you want to place on your own ambition. That all of that has been broken down and set free inside you. Does the external reality of where you're working, what you're working on, who you're working with, and how you relate to your environment, does that corroborate this freedom? Does that corroborate your ambition? Does that corroborate where you want to go? That is what is getting highlighted by this aspect, which I'm calling the Declaration of Independence, because that's exactly what it is. It wants you to be free to be who you want to be. It wants you to give up the limitations which are always within us. It wants you to break those barriers and set free and get to the next level. And in order to do that, you'll have to evolve the way you are in partnership. It will have to evolve in terms of how you feel about yourself. And this aspect is so potent. It is breaking those well developed, well retained, age old thought processes. It is breaking and shattering them into pieces. It is happening at 29 degree of Aries. 29 degree of Aries is known for Venus of Marilyn Monroe and Mars of Steve Jobs. It is a very potent degree. It is known as a degree to go for it. In symbolic astrology, it is shown as a conductor who raises his baton and vibrates it, and then suddenly he points to the violin and the violin joins it. This is called being right in time, not missing your opportunity, seizing the moment, going for it, not leaving a chance when you're getting one. This is especially true if you're a N degree Cancer. So if you're like born between 19th to 22nd of July, you would have already felt this over the course of last couple of months, because Mars has been at this degree. So Uranus has been there for some time, and it has been meeting other planets for the last month and a half. It was part of the eclipse that happened last month as well. So if you have not set free, if you have not changed the external reality to match this freedom you feel within, then that change comes with this aspect. It is more dramatic, more stark if you've not yet made the change. But I think many of you have. I know from many of you who I've interacted with, that you've made that shift, that you've made that change. So this is like the last step of releasing the old pattern, because you're meeting with South Node here. You're sort of releasing something and putting the cherry on the top, and now you're finalizing what you do in your career and how you do it and how you present yourself as a leader. On 10th of February, we have Mercury moving into your house of adventure, and it will stay there for 9 weeks. This is great for you. This eases your mental thought process, because now you're thinking big. You're thinking beyond. You are being given a freedom to take a leap of faith in your mind. But you have to figure out how. How do I want to go about? How do I go to this next step which I have taken in my career or I'm about to take? How do I embellish it? How do I make it successful? What kind of courses I need to take? What kind of education I should get? What kind of on-the-job education I should get? Or what kind of mentors I should access? What sort of different people I should interact who can help me, who can support me grow further in this step I have taken to shift my career. That comes over the course of next 9 weeks, starting from 10th of February all the way to April. Then on 14th of February, on the day of Valentine's Day, we have Mars moving into Taurus. Stability returns. We are looking to bed down and figure out how do we implement our hopes and dreams. It is about sticking with it. It's about determination. It's about resolution to grow your hopes and dreams, not creating new ones, but figuring out how do we implement what we have started. So the second half is all about not being impulsive, but rather sticking with things, figuring out the details of it, improving them, working on them to make them long run. You're sort of taking a direction and then running with it after 14th of February. And 16th to 20th of February is when Venus meets Saturn. So there is a solidification, a sort of a stability in your partnership. It could be a commitment in your partnership coming through. It could be a business partnership or a personal partnership, but something is coming full circle in your partnership. It is like you're finalizing it, you're signing something, or you're saying yes, or one of those things. But it's based in reality. It's based in you having gone through the test of time and figuring out that I want to do this. And it's happening around 16 degree of Capricorn, which is similar to the degree where we were last month, where the eclipse of start of the year happened. So if there's a new partnership that started at the start of the year, which could be a marriage partnership or you thinking about a business partnership, especially if you're born around 6th of July, you are looking to solidify this. Now we are looking at US sun, right? Close to US sun. So you're looking at solidification of partnerships in a positive direction, but it is based in reality. It is based in truth. It is based in two people figuring out what is real and not basing it on some imagination. Neptune is softening this because it's aspecting it. So there is an inspirational aspect to it, but it is very, very solidly based on reality. It is tested by Saturn. At the same time, Mercury is meeting Neptune as well when your house of adventure. So you start dreaming about the next adventure. You start dreaming about where can I go next? How can I enjoy further this partnership? How can I go to next step in this partnership? If it's a business partnership, how can I publicize it? How can I publish it? How can I go ahead and write something and publish it to the people that I know? It is great for creativity. Around 19th of February, 16th to 20th as a whole is great for creativity. If you're looking to publish some work, this is an excellent time to do so. But be careful of the detail work. So if there's any logical detail work, it's not a great idea to sign, for example, a financial commitment between 18th to 20th of February. It's better to postpone it or do it before 18th of February. If you're looking to sort of go into the fine print, that is not a great time to do that. That brings me to the full moon of this month, which is happening on 19th of February. Sun will move into your house of adventure on 18th, and then on 19th of February we have a full moon in the opposite house, which is the house of communication. You're looking to seal the deal on some branding, some written communication, or have a communication out because you do not want to hold back anything anymore. You are speaking your mind. You're making sure that people know what you're doing and you're publicizing that, not holding anything back, because Uranus and Mars are positively aspecting this full moon. So it is a carry forward from what happened around 13th of February, where you got the impetus to make that change in your leadership style, be free to say what you want to say. And that comes through in a very, very ambitious full moon, which is happening on 19th of February. It will have an impact for the next 2 weeks. It is making a positive aspect with you. It is flowing easily to you. It is asking you to interact more with your environment, engage more with people around you, gather support for your ideas, publicize your ideas, talk about to a larger set of audience, publish it and make it known. Have the courage to speak your mind and take the leap in terms of meeting new people, interacting with people who are different from you. Go and create a network where your ideas will be accepted, because Mars in your house of social networks is making a positive aspect to this full moon. So if you launch something which needs to be publicized to people, it will go very well. Like launching a website or creating a written communication or a publication that needs to go to people, it will get amped up, it will get accepted, it will get taken in very, very clearly. But this full moon is coming at 1 degree Virgo. It is about being very, very clear and honest in your voice, being very, very true to your values, taking care of communicating with full self-awareness, knowing what is good in it, what is bad in it. It's not about putting a wool on in your eye, because there's an aspect around 22nd of February where we can get lost in the enthusiasm of it all. We can get lost in the excitement of it all, especially if you have planets around 21 degree, or if you're born around 13th of July, Mercury and Jupiter meeting together. We could overcome it. We can overindulge. We can overindulge in our opinion, in our faith, and go overboard a little bit and committing too much to somebody at work, or commit too much to the people we are publishing things to, or who we are doing business with, for example. So being careful on that. Keep the view and the eye of Saturn there, and know that this full moon is happening in a mutable sign, which means that if you're launching something, if there's a publication coming through, it will undergo changes in the coming months. And the ruler of this full moon, which is Mercury, it is also entering shadow period. So anything in area of communication that you'll be working on after 19th of February, some or the other element of that will undergo change. It will undergo some amount of embellishment. It will go some amount of changes. This can also mean that you are acquiring some new skill set which has to do with communication. Maybe you're taking a course and the certification comes through. Maybe you're sort of acquiring a new language. It is very, very favorable to do that as well. Going ahead and figuring out how you can amp up the way you communicate to your immediate environment is the theme of that full moon. Then on 22nd and 23rd of February, I have Venus and Pluto meeting together. This is you being very, very sexy, very, very impactful in one-on-one partnership. If I have to convince somebody about something, I'll probably choose a Cancer at that time and take with me in a meeting, because you will be very, very impactful in making a point through, especially if you're born around 13th of July. But as I said, you are selling something to somebody. Be careful what you're committing to. Be careful in terms of not over committing what you're saying, because you'll have to implement on a practical basis what you're selling right now. So being a little bit careful about it. If it's a romantic relationship that you're becoming a part of, this is reaching the next level. This is reaching the next level of depth with that partner, especially if you're born around 13th or 14th of July. This is a beautiful energy on 22nd and 23rd of February to go out on a date, belated Valentine's Day gift, and enjoying yourself. It's a sign of indulgence to some extent, going deep in your relationship as well. At the end of the month, you're very, very energized to go for a new adventure. The social energy is getting amped up, and that will continue to be the theme till March, where while Sun is in your social houses and in your house of adventure, Mars is in your social houses. There is a lot of focus on relationships, but these are relationships on a a wider basis. So reaching out to people who are different from you, interacting with them, you'll feel energized to network, you'll feel energized to create your tribe, you'll feel energized to find a business set that is more in line with your thought processes, and you'll be able to get that. You'll be able to get them engaged with you. You'll be able to get them engaged to your point of view as well. Then on 1st of March, Venus and Uranus are making a square to each other. There's a shift in the way of your partnership. This is the last set of 29 degree of Aries that I spoke about, the last element. Any shift that is required in your partnership, that happens around 1st of March. So that will be the month for you. This is a month full of gifts. I wish you luck for that, and I'll see you in March. Thank you.